Are you finally ready to start freelance writing and want the step-by-step breakdown of how to actually get clients, get paid, and make money online? Then this video is for you. Seriously, I want to go above and beyond what you see with a lot of these YouTube videos, which have a ton of great advice, but I want to show you a general outline as well as a 8-step process to literally go from watching this to creating a website, landing clients, and getting paid as a writer. Let's go. Alright guys, well, welcome back. If you are new to the channel, thank you again for following. My name is Leonard, and I am a full-time copywriter and creator of Inspire Your Success, a brand that is committed to helping you build online businesses using the habits of successful entrepreneurs. And this video is all about my favorite side hustle, my #1 online business idea for beginners here, and that is freelance writing. Now, if you are brand new to digital entrepreneurship and making money on your laptop, this is the best one in my opinion. And you might ask why. Well, here's the thing. The opportunities are like endless. There's actually too much. Like, it's easy to get so excited about it, from drop shipping to podcasting to YouTube to writing, blogging, and 12 other things I'm probably not thinking about. But here's the thing. Freelance writing is able to get you money fast. And I know that's where a lot of you are at right now. You're thinking, man, I have a ton of school debt and I need to pay that off. Or, man, I really wish I could leave that 9 to 5 and work on my laptop halfway around the world and travel. Or whatever your thinking is, there's a lot of reasons why freelance writing is the choice for you. And I'm going to cover all that here in just a second. But the thing is, with freelance writing is that you don't need a ton of experience, you don't need a ton of money to get started, and you don't need to learn a lot of new skills. And that's really why I think it's the #1 way to get started, because drop shipping's great, but you gotta learn about all these other different things. Facebook ads or running your own social media agency is great, but if you don't know anything about ads, it's gonna be very difficult. But freelance writing, I mean, as long as you have an expertise, whether it's in sales or fitness or personal development or money, finances, as long as you have some experience or a niche or even a passion to learn about something, that is all you need to get started. And another reason that I really love it above all else is that you can get started cheaply. Now, a lot of people are trying to save some money. You know, like I said, you probably have some debt, or you might have other bills and expenses that you need, and you don't want to drop $1,000 on learning about drop shipping or money to get started by buying a new camera for YouTube or whatever it is. But freelance writing, it'll probably cost, I'd say, under $200 to get your writing website, and then you're good to go. So again, there's a lot of benefits from it. It, for me, has been instrumental in making sure I've never went back to a 9 to 5. I actually quit, hadn't made any money over 2 years ago. I left a 6-figure job, and blogging wasn't working. Freelance writing was kind of my savior, and really from then I've been trying to document that journey and show you how I 10x my income in a matter of 12 months. So again, it also is scalable. So I don't want to jump ahead of myself here, but I want to actually take you in and show you exactly what it takes to become a successful freelance writer. So again, make sure you have a little bit of time on your hands, and if you are ready, this could literally change your life. So again, if you like this content, again, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and let's dive in. All right, guys, excited to go through this and again show you how to start freelance writing. Now, I'm going to just go out there and say it. This is going to be the best video on YouTube about freelance writing. And if you actually take the stuff I tell you here, it's not going to be a short video, but it's going to be one that has actionable steps that if you literally watch it and go do it, you can make your first 100, first 1,000, first 5,000 or more as a freelance writer. So again, I don't want you to feel like this is just a few tips here and there. This is literally a step-by-step formula to becoming a super successful freelance writer in 2019 and beyond. So without further ado, let's jump in and start with why freelance writing, right? There's so many opportunities out there. We have blogging, freelance writing, Shopify, Instagram influencers, side hustles galore, right? We live in an abundant time thanks to This thing, we are literally always glued to it, but we're always finding ways to make money. And that's the coolest thing about the time that we're living in. So again, why should you choose freelance writing over some of those other options I just mentioned? Well, here are some of the reasons I think it's the best side hustle, and I don't see it really changing. So the first thing is that you can work remotely. That to me is the greatest gift. I literally have been like that guy over there with the laptop at the pool or at the beach doing work, submitting stuff to clients. So that to me is the biggest perk of freelance writing above all else. I could not stand working for someone else, and I'm sure you feel the same, whether it's having to go to a cubicle or a commute or anything like that. Like, it's frustrating, right? It's not something that you look forward to doing. But with freelance writing, you can make money from your couch. You can go to a coffee shop. You can go to co-working spaces. You can make money anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection and hit your deadlines. So it's very, very cool there. There's low startup costs, and that's a big one because some of those other ones like e-commerce, sometimes if you have to buy your stuff up front and have inventory sitting around and storage and things like that, it can get expensive. But freelance writing, I would argue, is the cheapest way. I mean, all it really takes is a freelance writing website and an internet connection. To be honest, there really is not much else. So very low startup cost. I think an entire plan's less than like $200 a year. So we'll say about $100-200 a year to maintain that. But otherwise, that's about it. And again, I think it is the best side hustle because you don't need a ton of skills. You probably already have a lot of skills right now. If you can send an email or write a long caption on Instagram or have ever written anything in your life, you can be a freelance content writer. So that's a great thing. You don't have to go out and learn about Facebook ads and drop shipping and all these other great side hustles that are, really, really good, but they might take a lot of investment up front, both of your time and of your money, but not freelance writing. And the other thing that I love is that you can make money super fast. Like, I have tried so many side hustles, whether it was Shopify or blogging or coaching or online courses. And all of them are great options if they align with what you'd like to do and what you want to do, but they don't always make money fast. Like, if you launch a course, you have to figure out how to promote the course and get it in front of your email list and all these things. But with blogging, it's the same way. You have to learn about SEO and Pinterest, and not to say that these aren't great ways, but freelance writing, you literally can find a client today, write it tomorrow, submit it that day or the next day, and sometimes they'll pay you the day it gets submitted or on a weekly or bi-weekly or monthly basis. So it's great to make money fast. If you need to pay off some debt, if you have some unexpected medical bills or whatever the case, it's a great way to get money fast. And speaking of blogging, freelance writing is easier than blogging. So I've been blogging for about 3.5 years now. I love blogging, a ton of opportunity from it, but it takes a little while. And that is why so many blogs die. And so many blogs are just like half-assed out there, and they never actually got their message out because people weren't seeing results. They were spending too much time writing, not enough money coming in, and they didn't want to learn about SEO and Pinterest and backlink profiling and all this other stuff that comes with blogging because it is a lot of work. But again, there is a lot of opportunity as well. So it's one of those things, though. Freelance writing is generally going to be easier. You get paid to write content for someone, and they send you a check or send you an invoice. So it's very, very easy to get started. And the coolest thing, I think, outside of working remotely is the scalability of it. So in 2018, I was actually able to 10x my income in 12 months while only working part-time. And this was actually just through content writing. And this was basically blog post writing, ebook writing, and a few other little lead magnets that I created for clients. But this was not copywriting. This wasn't selling my course or anything like that. This was strictly freelance writing income. And again, guys, I don't have any formal education with this. I am a self-published author. I figured all this stuff out on my own, so I know you can do it too. But again, those are why freelance writing is just the spot to be here and why you should keep watching, because again, there is so many upsides and very, very little downsides. So again, you might be thinking, well, this sounds good, but does this guy really know what he's talking about? Maybe you just found me on YouTube. But here's the thing, guys. I've been getting paid to do this for nearly 2 years. And again, I don't have any formal experience. I don't have a writing degree. I do have a bachelor's degree that I've never really used in the real world. But again, I don't want you to feel like, oh, he can do it, but it's not meant for me. The thing is, you can get paid to write just about anything. So I just want to show you a couple screenshots. So this one is an ebook that I wrote for a client. It is basically, he found me on Instagram, loved my work. We loved working together. I wrote him a really nice ebook. I got paid $2,300 for this one. This one is creating content for his website. So I actually wrote the website copy about the About page, his business accelerator program, things like that. So I got paid $2,300 for this, $1,650 for this, and this is in the personal development niche. So again, you can get paid to write about anything, and we'll talk about that more in just a second. But those are just a couple ones. And then again, this is a golf client. So this is I'm a huge golfer. As you can tell, I got the polo. I love golf. And believe it or not, again, you can get paid to write about anything. You just have to find the websites, find the clients that are out there. And this is a client that I basically write 1 to 2 blog posts a week. Takes me, 1 to 3 hours at most. And I'm making, 300 this week, 160. Those are 1 articles a week. Little things like that. And again, it's just recurring revenue because bloggers always need to be creating more content to stay fresh and obviously keep ranking high with search results. So again, these are just a few examples, but I was able to 10x my income in 12 months, and I know that you can do it too. All right, so now that I showed you some of my results, kind of why freelance writing is such a great opportunity here in 2019 and beyond, I want to share with you exactly how I got started, because you're probably thinking, well, maybe he already had published a book or he had a blog or whatever else might be coming up for you right now. But again, I want to share with you exactly how I did it and some of the biggest mistakes I made, which we'll talk about, and a lot more. So again, I left my 100,000 plus job in May of 2017. When I left, I had made $200 from my blog. That was it. And I'd saved a lot of money. I had a plan. I was going to freelance write. I was going to blog. I was going to build this epic business, and I'm still working on that. But here's the thing, guys. I had never made any money from freelance writing. In fact, I was an average blog writer at best. I really struggled with proofreading. Really just had long sentences. I was not like a great writer by any means. So if that sounds like you, just know that once you work on anything, you're going to get better at it. So when I got started, though, I made $200. I was like, all right, I'm going to do this blogging thing. I see people making $50,000, $100,000 a month. Like, I can do that too. While I do make money from my blog, at the beginning now, it was not something that was profitable at all. And it was one of those things where I'd get an affiliate sale or I'd have some Google AdSense ads clicked on, but it was so spotty. It was like a couple hundred here, $50 here. It wasn't anything to really bank on. And it made it hard to kind of structure my days and figure out how I was actually generating revenue, both in the short term and in the long term. So again, my blog was not making much money, and I tried it for about 6 months. And I tried some other random side hustles like taking surveys, going to flea markets, flipping stuff on eBay. Like, I was just like, I'm never going to go back to this job because I hate it. It brought me zero joy. It made me depressed, and I felt like I was just dying at my cubicle, right? I'm sure you guys can relate. So I basically was like, okay, well, if I need to keep this going, then I need to figure out how to make sustainable income. And I just hadn't really went all in on freelance writing. So I was like, all right, I can do this, but I need some money so I never have to go back to that 9 to 5, because that to me that was my nightmare, right? That was like a recurring nightmare. Like, I had to go back and like with my head down and be like sad. So I took some online courses. Earn More Writing was the first course I ever took. And then I found some mentors like Benjamin Hardy, who is the #1 writer on medium.com. And I just studied freelance writing, and I just basically did exactly what these people told me to do. And I started getting myself out there. I created my freelance writing website. I landed some guest posts, and I got featured on big sites like Fearless Motivation and Goalcast and Addicted to Success and Rockstar Finance and some other big ones. So I started to get some guest posts, and that started to get me some exposure. And then that led to actually them hiring me and keeping me on. And then from there, I actually started cold pitching. And we'll talk more about cold pitching here in a little bit. But cold pitching is basically finding clients you want to work for and sending them an email, just being like, hey, my name's Michael. I'm a freelance writer. I specialize in XYZ. I think I could really help your site. Here's some of my samples. And again, these people have never heard of you. So it's a little scary, but again, we'll talk about getting over some of the fears of freelance writing in just a second, but that worked. I got some clients. I got financial advisors to hire me. I got blogs. I got websites. And all of a sudden, I started having a lot of clients. In fact, I was writing so much that my hands hurt. I was literally making like a couple thousand at first, and then like 3,000, and then 4,000, and 5,000, and 6,000. And again, I was only doing this part-time. I was still working on my blog, and I was starting my podcast, and I was pursuing professional golf. So again, if you're busy, if you have a family, if you don't want to quit your job, wherever you're at, you don't have to. Like, that's the thing. It's just a part-time thing. But eventually I just kept going, and I raised my rates. I dropped the cheap clients, the ones that were really high maintenance ones, and I scaled. And again, from literally January of 2018 to January of 2019, working part-time, I was able to 10x my income. So I did it, and I know you can do it too. That is the thing I want you to realize, is that I'm not special. You are exactly like me. If you have an attitude, if you're watching this still, you're committed, right? You are obviously wanting to better your life. You want to make more money, travel, pay off debt, whatever it is. So if I can do it, you can do it too. All right, so now you understand a little bit about my background. Obviously, if I can do it, you can do it. So here's the step-by-step process for how to start freelance writing for beginners, even if you don't have a degree, even if you don't have experience. None of that. So again, I'm going to dive in here and show you each of these steps in detail. So don't click out, because again, this stuff is literally, if you apply it, you can start making money this week if you want. So the first thing is mastering your mindset. Second thing is picking a profitable niche. You have to figure out where people are actually going to and what kind of content is needed. How to create your freelance writing website. And we'll talk more about exactly what that entails and why you need one. And then we're going to cover pitching clients. So there's a lot of ways you can pitch clients. I'm going to go over 3 of the most popular. And then from there, it's just about delivering high quality work. Once you get clients, that's the easy part. You know, the hard part is sometimes getting them. Once you get the clients, though, it's all about delivering great work and getting paid. From there, I want to help you keep evolving, show you some skills that you need to learn to become a freelance writer that can make 3, 5, or 10,000 a month. And then I want to talk more about why you need to keep pitching, keep hustling, and then finally, how you can take your freelance writing business into a full-time gig. All right, guys, hopefully you are enjoying it. Let's jump in. The first one, master your mindset. Now, you might be thinking, well, Mike, this sounds a little bit woo-woo. I don't know about all this. Like, this isn't for me. But here's the thing, guys. If you don't have the right mindset in anything you do in life, whether you're trying to become a professional athlete, a CEO, or an entrepreneur, if you don't have the right mindset, you're going to fail. I can just guarantee it now, because this Henry Ford quote says it best. He who thinks he can and he who thinks he can't are both normally right. So you have to realize the way your brain is wired is that it is trying to make your belief system come true. If you believe you're going to be successful, it will help you come true. If you believe you're going to fail, it will help you fail. So it's important to use this powerful machine to your advantage. And that first starts by having a belief in yourself. So say to yourself, I can be a successful freelance writer. I can make money writing online. It's time to get rid of all those old stigmas. You don't even have to go to college anymore. You can literally watch this presentation and go and make more money than most schools are going to be teaching you, right? So again, you have to first just commit to it. And I always say commit to your why. Why are you doing this? Like, why do you want to make money as a writer? For me, it was because I never wanted to go back to a 9-to-5. For me, it was because I wanted to have more time to go after my goals and dreams of professional golf and building an online business that positively impacts the world. So it could be spending more time with your kids. It could be to travel. It could be to just not work at a job you hate. Whatever it is, commit to that why and really get clear about it. From there, you just want to accept it. Like, it's easy to be like, oh, I'm kind of thinking about it, or maybe I should try freelance writing, because you don't commit to it, right? But you need to commit and accept what you're doing and go all in. Not to say you need to quit your job or anything like that, but if you're going to be a freelance writer, even if it's part-time, commit to being a freelance writer. Then goals. Again, I'm not going to go through some boring SMART goal setting or anything like that, but understand that you need to have some goals. What do you want from this? Do you want to make $500 a month? Do you want to make $5,000 a month? Like, How many hours do you want to work? How many clients do you want to have? By clearly establishing your goals and writing them down on paper and thinking, here's what I want to accomplish in the next 30, 90, 120 days, it makes it easy for you to actually work towards it. Because as Jack Canfield said, vague goals equal vague results. So get super clear about what you want, how much money you want to make, how many hours you want to work, how many clients you want to have, and anything else, and write it down. Because again, a goal in your head is just a dream. So make sure you write it down, put a deadline around it, and review that goal constantly. And again, guys, without the right mindset, you might make some money, but honestly, you'll probably burn out. You either won't stay committed, it'll be too much writing, or you're not making enough money, or people are giving you crap in your family, and they're like, why are you working so much, and all this other stuff. So again, you have to commit to becoming an entrepreneur and making money from your laptop. Do not forget, this is the best, most lucrative time ever to make money from that little machine. So remember, you can do this, but it all starts by believing in yourself here in step 1. All right, step number 2 is to pick a profitable niche. And I don't know where it is here at one of the cards, but I have a full video about this where you should definitely watch it. But you need to make sure that there's a niche for what you want to write about. For example, I get paid to write about personal finance. That was an old niche, I guess, but now it's personal development, entrepreneurship, and even golf. So I write about things I'm passionate about. Some freelance writers write about things they hate, but they pay well. In my mind, it's about a combination of these 3 things, and you want to try and get to where that smiley face is with the dollar sign. You want to be knowledgeable about the topic, you want to enjoy what you're doing, and you want to make sure, obviously, that the topic is in demand. So let's start at the top. So say you're knowledgeable about something. Maybe you're really good at sales, or you're really good at motivational content, or you're really smart and you love fitness and nutrition. Whatever it is, think about, what do you do in your life outside of work? What is something that you could talk to anyone about? Maybe it's sports, maybe it's comedy, maybe it's movies. Whatever it is, just think about that. What are you knowledgeable about? Secondly, is the topic in demand? Now, this one isn't that big of a deal anymore, because literally the amount of money that I'm able to make from things like golf is astonishing to me. So that's a very niche thing, right? But that's the thing, is that there's content pretty much needed for everything. Now, I'm not sure about knitting or things like that, or maybe lacrosse. Maybe there are, though, guys. So again, you have to do the research, find some websites, see what kind of content they have. If you can do some, really general website research with like Alexa, things like that. And I'll talk more about that in a little bit later. But again, make sure the topic's in demand. You have to, obviously, there has to be an audience of people that want this content. So that way the website's making money, they have money then to pay you. And then lastly, to enjoy the writing. I have written about things I didn't like, and it sucked. It felt like a job to me. It felt like if I write about Roth IRAs for one more second, I was just like losing my mind. So again, if you're like me, I like to write about things I enjoy doing. Personal development, motivational, golf. Those are things I enjoy. So those are things I actually just basically seek out and attract to me. And the thing is, guys, is that you just have to make a choice. If you're okay with writing about stuff you don't like and it pays well, go for it. You can probably make more money that way. But to me, I was burning out. And so that's kind of where I transitioned and switched niches. So again, you don't have to stay with that one forever. So if it's something that you're like, man, I don't know. I have a few things I like writing about. I like photography, but I like food, but I like fitness. Start with 1, maybe 2. And again, you can have kind of a sub niche, but I recommend not having more than that, because the riches are in the niches. And if you're more of a generalist, sometimes it's kind of hard if you write about pets one day and then finance the next day and then something else. It's not always easy to make a ton of money from that, because think about it from a client's point of view. They want people that are knowledgeable and experts in their niche. So if I'm a personal finance website and I'm hiring personal finance writers, I want to find people that are knowledgeable about investing and saving and money-making ideas, not about someone that writes about pets and then writes a little bit about fitness and losing weight and then also kind of has a passion about money. So again, guys, it's a competitive area out there, but by having a niche and really being an expert, that is how you can make a lot of money and, again, write about things that you actually enjoy. All right, so thus far we've worked on our mindset and we've picked a profitable niche. Now it is time to actually get going and get some content out into the world. So the first thing here is you need a home base. Now this is tough because a lot of people think, oh, I don't really want to create one, or maybe I don't need a freelance writing website, but I want to be very clear. If you are trying to make money as a writer and really want to crush it as a freelancer, you need a freelance writing website. So before all the fears come in of I'm not good at creating a website, I've never done it, and all that other stuff, if I can do it, you can do it. So again, why do you actually need a website? First off, it establishes credibility. Now again, think about everything you're doing from the client's point of view, from the people that are actually going to pay you money. They want to make sure that you're not just some person that's going to come out and maybe write some, okay content. They want to make sure that, like, hey, you're actually a freelance writer. You have experience. You've been featured in places, all these other things. So this is super important because, again, if you have your freelance writing website, like, for example, mine is michaelleonard.net, people can go on there. They can start to know me. They can start to understand where I've been featured, how I write, all these other things. And again, it's really, really important in controlling your brand online. And I talk a lot about this because, again, I think that the people that you have, your followers, your content, this stuff's going to live on forever. It's kind of like a digital currency. So controlling your brand online is very, very important. And also, you can showcase your samples, right? You want to show where you've been featured, what type of writing you do, and testimonials from clients and all these other things. So having a freelance writing website that you own is super important. So make sure to click above as well. I have a lot more about freelance writing websites because, again, they're kind of intimidating at the beginning, but for a very small amount, you can get started. Again, all you really need is a hosting program. You can do a free or a paid theme. I think my theme's like $50. And you can either make it yourself or you can hire someone to do it. So again, I'm not going to cover it in too much detail here, but with it, again, you don't need it to be difficult. Like, please don't make this like overly complicated, but you do need a home base online. So what should you include in your freelance writing website? Well, the first thing is your homepage. You want to obviously call out exactly what you do. And I'll show you my website here in just a second, but you want to say, hey, my name is Michael and I specialize in XYZ. Say that right up front so when someone's lands on your page, they know exactly what you're about. From there, you want to include services. So you might talk about, I offer blog writing or email writing or ebooks or whatever services you're going to do as a freelance writer. You want to include those services. You also want to include an about page. So again, people need to know, like, and trust you to work with you. So if you have an about page and you talk about your background in your niche or your experience in your jobs or different things that make you qualified as a writer, that will go a long way in landing clients. So again, your website should get people to know, like, and trust you. And then, of course, obviously you want to have samples, and we'll talk more about creating samples here in just a second. Plus, you want to also have a very clear contact page. So again, you want to make it very easy, whether they submit a form or they just have your email on there. So speaking of that, like, get rid of your Gmail or your little Hotmail or Yahoo account. Like, have a formalized account. You can go on Google Suites. I think it's $5 a month. And that way it can be like Michael at Inspire Your Success. It sounds a lot more formal. And again, the little things, but you want to make sure it's super easy for people. All right, so here's actually my personal freelance writing website. Again, it's not flashy and it doesn't need to be, guys. I created this in, I think, about 2.5, 3 hours. I did it all on my own. I'm very stubborn, so I wanted to learn. But again, here it is. I'm a copywriter who specializes in writing epic entrepreneurship and digital marketing content. Bolded, I call it out right there. A nice, good, professional photo of me, where I've been featured, what my clients say. And this is big. I talk more about this in the actual video all about it, but make sure that you have social proof. And again, it might not even be from ones if you're brand new, you might not have it yet. So again, think about if you have any LinkedIn connections or people that you've worked with in the past, what have they said about you? Try and include that as well. But again, guys, this is easy. I do not have much on here. I have my about page, my portfolio, a link to my blog, which is actually separate than freelance writing website, a link to my podcast, my courses, and work with me. So again, if you have a contact page, work with me, things like that. So I'm not going to jump into it way too detailed here, but again, this is easy. This isn't anything complicated. Don't feel like you have to make this elaborate $1,000 website or anything like that. This helps me land clients still. And again, it controls my brand online. All right, so step number 4, at this point, again, we have a writing website, we have the right mindset, and we have a profitable niche. So now it's time to get out there and get some clients, time to make some money. So first off, you're probably thinking, how do I actually land clients? Like, where do I go? What do I do? This is overwhelming. I get it. But again, it doesn't have to be. So here's exactly what I did and exactly what you can do as well. First step is to create some samples, right? You need to have samples of your work. If you want to write about fitness, or you want to write about finance or money or pets or whatever else, you need to create some samples. So again, think about the websites you want to write for, go to them, kind of look at what they're normally writing about, and create your own articles. It could be 10 ways to save money, or 5 things to lose your first 10 pounds, or something, whatever is related to your niche. Create them on a Google Doc, save them as a Word, add some images. You can even make them pretty and do some PDFs if you have any photo editing and different Photoshop skills that I don't have. But again, you need to have some, and then from there you can directly upload those to your freelance writing website. From there, once you have some samples, then it's about seeing if you can get your name out there, because that's kind of the hardest part sometimes, is people don't know who you are yet. Just because in your mind you're a freelance writer doesn't mean the world knows. So it's important to sometimes write for free, and this is very rare, but again, sometimes at the beginning you have to get your name out there. So for example, when I first got started, I did guest posts for big motivational websites that I wanted to write for. Things like Goalcast, Addicted to Success, and Fearless Motivation. I would write free guest posts for just a few, and then I would say, hey, if you guys are enjoying this content, I really like writing it. I think you're enjoying it. Your audience seems to be sharing it. Are you looking for writers? Or I am available. Like, how much or when could we get started, right? It's about just basically getting in the system, getting them to know you, understanding you can hit deadlines, write good stuff. And then from there, you just pitch yourself. And that has worked very well for me. And I have clients from a year and a half ago when I first started all this that I still write for. So again, make sure that you basically find the websites you want to write for and start writing for free just a few times, and then pitch your services. Another one is content mills. Now, again, this is not something I recommend for the long term, but in the beginning, you have to build momentum and you have to start somewhere. So I recommend going on places like Upwork, finding jobs that you want to write about. Again, don't take super low wages or write about things that just make you mad. Like, find things that are actually going to help you build your portfolio and make some money, and start writing. So the one thing again with Upwork is that there is a revenue sharing aspect. So you only get 80% of whatever they say, because Upwork gets the other 20% as they are the broker between you two. So again, make sure to check out my Upwork video there. But overall, again, those are the first two. The third way is job boards. Job boards are great. If you go to like ProBlogger, I think it's .net, or maybe it's .com, but ProBlogger is a free job board. You can go through, find if there's any jobs you want to write for. Or you can do paid job boards like Contena. And Contena is going to actually cost you, I think it's like $300 or something like that a year. But then they actually basically scour all these websites all over the internet and then make like a big centralized job board. So that way you don't have to check 15 different sites out every morning. So that one helps as well. And then the last way is the cold pitch. Now, the cold pitch is the way you're going to make the most money, work with the people you want to work with, but it also is quote unquote scary. But again, you're reaching out to strangers. Yes, you're going to hear some no's. You're going to hear a lot of just crickets and not get replies, but you can also find the people that you really want to work with. So by finding your ideal clients, finding their email online, doing things like that, you can basically manufacture yourself, send over a really solid pitch, talk about why you want to write for them, hear some of your samples, link to your writing website, and then from there, you can create a conversation back and forth. So regardless, though, you're probably thinking, man, this is scary. I might get rejected. All that's BS, guys. Remember this quote: rejection is a myth. You never had it in the first place. So again, don't get too attached to any job you apply for, and instead just set pitch goals, and eventually you'll get that first client. And if you can get one client, you can get 2, 3, 4, and beyond. So the key here, though, is to pitch relentlessly. The first time I really did this, I pitched 50 clients in one day. I only heard back from 5 of them, I think, and I got 2 jobs, though. So again, it's a numbers game. If you've ever worked in sales, you understand that the more people you call, the more likely you're finally going to hear a yes. So the same goes with freelance writing. All right, so now imagine what it's like to finally get that first client, right? It is the coolest feeling. I still remember my first client was from Upwork. It was, I think it was like 60 or 80 bucks, something like that. And it was about a golf article. Again, it's crazy what you can get paid to write about. So from there, though, it's about delivering high quality work and making sure that you get paid. So first off, remember, please follow the instructions. Do not do your own thing. Once you get clients, usually good clients will have some sort of guidelines or editing, kind of checklist that they give to all their writers. So that way it makes sure you understand exactly what your task is. They'll usually give you things like word count. So for example, I have a client that gives me a word count. I'll say, I want this topic. Here's the keyword. I want it to be around 2,000 words, and I want it to be similar to these 3 articles. So from there, then I will create a really quality article. I'll make sure the deadline's notated. And then guys, step number 2, proofread, proofread, proofread. I'm horrible about this still. I just don't enjoy editing at all. But again, I've gotten better from it. But the reason is I lost a $3,000 a month client because I sucked at proofreading and we just were never communicating on the right page. So again, I don't want this for you. So proofread your work. And then again, go above and beyond, right? You're just meeting this person. You want to make a good impression because the first one could lead to years of content and years of money. So make a good first impression, go a little bit above and beyond, communicate fast, deliver quality work. But again, make it for the client and make it easy, for the client or for the editor. And the easier their job is, the more they're going to really love working with you. And then please hit your deadlines early if possible. Deadlines are huge. Like websites and blogs, they have certain deadlines their audience is used to, and they have certain, calendars that they're trying to hit with their content. So you want to make sure that you are not the reason their content is coming out late. That is a good way to lose a client. So make sure that you hit your deadlines early and then offer to do any more editing if they have any other questions. From there, once they accept it, if you go over any other edits, it's time to get paid. And again, I want to clarify, please, before you get started writing the first word, make sure it's super clear in communication, in an email, when you're getting paid, how you're getting paid, and any other details, right? Because the last thing you want is to submit your work and then be scared to ask for money and all these other limiting beliefs that are going to come up. Say, hey, as soon as I submit this, the deadline is on the 15th, or I'll send you an invoice, or maybe they'll send you an invoice. Whatever it is, make sure it's communicated before that. Now, a lot of people are thinking, do I need a contract? Do I need an LLC? All these other things that are way far down the line. In the beginning, honestly, I don't think a contract's always necessary. It depends, though. For example, I have one client that's like $3,000 a month. We have kind of a retainer deal, so that is something that is formalized in writing. I signed it. He signed it. That way it is a legally binding document. But if you're just getting started, you probably don't need that, and you can just get started with a PayPal business account, either using FreshBooks or using QuickBooks. So PayPal Business is a free thing. FreshBooks and QuickBooks cost a couple bucks. But again, if you want to commit to it, it makes it easy to invoice and have all your expenses and everything like that. So hopefully that made sense. And now again, it's time to get paid. And now we're going to talk about continuing to evolve and how to make more money. So now that you have some clients, now that you're making money, it's time to keep evolving your skills, because let's say you started out at 10 cents a word. You don't want to write that forever, right? You want to make 15 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents a word, right? You want to really push the envelope and see what you can get, because the more money, obviously, that you can charge, the less clients you can have, which means usually the more time that you can have to do other stuff other than writing. So it's really hard to scale a business if you're only making 6 cents or 8 cents or 10 cents a word. But again, it's raising your rates and figuring out how you can do it. Now, if nothing changes and you really haven't learned anything, why should you raise your rates, right? So to me, it's about learning and growing and evolving. The more you learn, the more you earn, right? So read some books, join masterminds, get into mentorship programs, join Facebook groups, just read books, read articles, just stay up to date on their industry and what you're writing about. So that way you will become more of an asset, and they don't want to lose you because, again, writers are tough to find. So clients don't want to have to go out and post on job boards and listen to cold pitches and all that other stuff. So again, it's up to you to figure out how you can become a better asset for their business. All right, and then from there, try to bundle your services. So for example, I do a lot of freelance writing and have for several clients over the last few years, but I always try and add different things to be able to charge more. So for example, I just got a new golf client, and he doesn't have a firm understanding of what keywords he should be writing for and how he can rank and things like that. So I offered to do an SEO research kind of keyword proposal, and I paired that along with a lead magnet that I wrote for him. Other clients I do images for them. Other ones I do social media posts and little snippets and things like that. So always figure out how you can bundle your services so that way you can charge more from the same client and, again, become a bigger asset for them. And then the last thing here to keep evolving is to learn SEO. This is a skill that is so needed in 2019 and beyond. And it's tough because it's always changing. So it's up to you to be up to date on these new changes, understand how to write SEO-friendly content. Because as a writer, this is a valuable skill that can help you, because if you can make clients work, get to the first page of Google, especially into the first 3 results, that means more people are going to see them, which means more people are going to opt into their emails, click on their ads, buy their products, which means that you are the biggest asset to them, because without you, they're not able to rank that content. So it's up to you to, again, know this stuff, understand what keywords are, LSI keywords, search volume, all these other things, which, again, go on free websites like Moz and look up Neil Patel on YouTube and his blog. There's tons of free content out there. You don't even have to buy anything. But again, make sure that you're always educating yourself, because that way you can charge more from the existing clients and, again, have a lot of long-term value for. All right, so step number 7, almost done here. And again, if you're listening still, I'm stoked for you. I know that you're committed and that you're actually going to go out there and use this stuff. So step number 7 on crushing it as a freelance writer. And again, if you want to start freelance writing, you have to start pitching, right? And that's the thing, is that you, at this point, hopefully you have some clients. It could be a recurring one, it could be a few, or it could just be some one-off ones. But the key here is to pitch more. Again, pitching is just a numbers game, and you have to keep hustling. Now, the reason I say that is because you can get comfortable sometimes. And I, in my own business, got super comfortable. So after about 3-4 months, I was making, I don't know, 3 to 5K a month. And they were pretty easy gigs. It wasn't very challenging. But again, I had made more than I ever had. So I just was like, wow, this is pretty cool. I'm able to pay my bills and, save some money. What more do I want, right? But that's the thing. I got comfortable. And anytime you get comfortable in a relationship, with your weight, at a job, nothing good happens, right? And again, like I always say, the comfort zone is where your dreams go to die. So I know it's drastic, but you have to get uncomfortable. And that means continuing to get new clients, level up, keep learning, keep charging more, figuring out how you can deliver more so you can get paid more. Because again, you don't have to settle for $3,000 or $5,000. You can make 10, you can make 20. But again, it comes up to what you want to do each month and what you want to do each day to get better. And another thing that you can do is to start documenting happy clients. Because again, your freelance writing website is always going to be your home base online. So it's important to get testimonials and to update your site. So if you get an article in a Business Insider or Entrepreneur, you want to make sure to update your website so it has that. You want to make sure to have testimonials from happy clients. If they have written content, make sure there's an image, maybe a link to their website or what their role is. And if you have video testimonial and you can ask a client that you really like, do it, because video and social proof is a great way to get people to know, like, and trust you. So again, that is super key. And then the last thing is to set new goals. again, it's easy to get comfortable. I get it. But if you are just kind of making 3 or 5 or 6K, but you want to make more, have a reason to. So maybe you have some student loan debt you want to pay off, or some credit card debt, or you want to take a trip somewhere and it's going to be kind of expensive. Set some new goals. And especially if like you want to buy a new laptop, heck, that's even an expense that you can write off. So again, set goals, don't get comfortable, and keep hustling, keep growing your business. All right, so this one is all about how to take it full time. And again, I did it the exact opposite way. I quit my job and then figured it out. So please don't be like me. Instead, start a side hustle as a freelance writer, start freelance writing, start making money, just get the process going. And then from there, then you can go full time if it fits your life, if it fits what you want, right? And so if you do want to go full time as a freelance writer, it's 100% possible. Like it's not going anywhere. Aliens and AI aren't going to replace you anytime soon, right? We always need content out there, and the better you are, the more in demand you're going to get. So make sure that you are setting a deadline and a savings goal. So for example, when I quit, the one thing I did do right is, well, two things, I guess, is I set a deadline. So I said, by May of this year, I'm going to do it. And that was about 8 months in the past. So that way I could save some money, stop wasting money on Amazon, start learning some blogging skills, but clearly not enough. But again, I had a deadline, and I had something kind of driving me, because if you just say, oh, I'm going to do it, it'll probably never happen, right? So again, set a deadline and then set a savings goal. So you never want to quit and just don't have anything saved up. So one of the things I did when I quit my 9 to 5 is I had 12 months of income stashed away in a high yield savings account. Like I said, I used to be a personal finance blogger. But anyways, you want to make sure to have money so that way you don't have to go back to a job or take low-paying gigs just because you need the money. So save, 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 not only for taxes, which is a whole nother issue, not really an issue, but something you need to think about as an entrepreneur. But again, have money, because cash is oxygen. If something happens and you have to travel, or if something happens in your family, you need money, things like that, it's important to have money saved up. And then from there, keep getting new clients. Again, guys, there are so many blogs, so many websites, so many people that need your work. So make sure that you're, again, not staying where you are, and keep going. And that means dropping the low-paying ones, because usually the low-paying ones require the most work from you and are the neediest and text you and call you and don't pay on time and all that. So again, drop the ones that are a pain in the ass. Next up, talk to your family, because I swear to God, if you quit your job tomorrow and don't tell anybody, people are going to be mad. And whether it's your significant other, your kids, your mom, your dad, whoever it is, it's going to be weird. Like when I quit my job, I got a lot of grief from a lot of people. It's going to be risky. Can you really make money on that laptop? Blah, 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 right? Don't listen to them. If you're committed and you're already making money, you'll say, hey, look, the proof's in the pudding. When I quit, now I can scale my business, all right? But again, have the conversation with them. Get it out of the way, right? And then think about things like insurance. What are you going to do for that? Can you jump on your wife or your husband's plan? Is there something you can do individually? You know, what kind of savings, kind of goals do you have for retirement? Is this going to be long-term? Is it short-term? You know, what is your schedule going to look like? Where are you going to work from? All these things are stuff you should think about. So again, don't just be mad at your boss and quit your job on a whim. That's definitely not the way I would recommend. So think about all this stuff, and that way you can start scaling your freelance writing business into a full-time gig. All right, guys. Well, I have shared a lot of stuff with you about starting as a freelance writer and how to become a freelance writer, but this is still just the tip of the iceberg. But again, I want to give as much free value as I can. But the people that have really made the biggest difference, and the clients and students that I work with, are the ones that are investing in themselves. So if you want to learn even more, because again, this is a very good outline, and I can't cover everything in one video. This thing's already going to be 45 or an hour long. But again, I created Freelance to 5K, and that is a step-by-step course in basically a formula to make at least 5K a month as a freelance writer. And again, I talk a lot more about the stuff that we went in here in detail. I share more of my stories, my failures, my successes, how to land clients on social media, some checklists so that way you're always sending off really, really good stuff. I talk about how to land clients, how to pitch your work better. SEO, and so much more. So again, it's a very in-depth course. It's really for the people that want to make at least 5K a month or more. And again, you don't have to quit your job. It's nothing like that. But this is an investment in yourself, an investment in your business. So if you want to learn more about that, make sure you take a look at the link in the bio. And again, I appreciate you sticking it out through this entire presentation. And hopefully you got a ton of value to start your freelance writing career. Right, well, if you are still here, congrats to you, because it's nearly an hour long. I know that's really long. Most of my videos are more bite-sized and giving you tangible advice. But I wanted to create something so epic that if you want to start freelance writing today and become a freelance writer, this is the video. And you already watched it, so you know what you need to do. So first of all, congratulations to you for making it. That's a lot of time. We have very short attention spans these days. But now is the time to take action and actually start making money as a writer. All right, since there was so much information in here, I want to do a quick recap so that way we're both on the same page and you know exactly what it takes to start your freelance writing career. So step number one, again, was to make sure this is right. If your mindset is not right in anything that you do, you're setting yourself up for failure. So again, if you want to be a freelance writer, commit to it. Set some goals and get the mindset and start believing in yourself. Guys, if I can get paid thousands of dollars to write about golf and personal development, personal finance, then you can too. Whether it's about photography or finance or another sport or fitness, whatever it is, if I can do it, you can do it. So again, start by believing in yourself and getting that entrepreneurial mindset that if it's meant to be, it's up to me. All right, step number two is, again, making sure you find a profitable niche, because you could be the best writer in the world, but if people don't want to read that content, then there's not going to be profitable websites that can actually pay you for it. So again, this isn't too big of an issue unless you have a very, very detailed niche that is very, very small. But for the most part, I mean, think again broader. So if you like golf or football, think about sports blogs. Or if you like certain types of nutrition, start with fitness and exercise blogs. But again, there are so many websites out there that need content, they need writers. So for me, it's about finding something you really like writing about, plus something that is in demand. Because like I mentioned in the video, I've written stuff that I don't enjoy and I've gotten paid a lot for it, but again, it felt to me just like I was going to a job that I hated, and I don't like trading my time for money when I don't enjoy what I'm doing. So again, find something that's profitable and find something that you actually want to write about for the long term. Step number three was creating that writing website. And again, this is your home base. This is your hub online. So if someone types in your name, they're not going to find your drunk college photos, but instead they're going to find a really nice looking, simple, clean, easy to follow website that has your samples, that has a lot more information about yourself, that has your portfolio, testimonials, and so much more. So again, if you want to learn more about that writing website, take a look at the description down below, as I have a whole other video and blog post all about that. All right, step number four was pitching. Again, pitch, pitch, pitch. It's just a numbers game. If you want to land clients, you have to get yourself out there. As a brand new freelance writer, you're not going to have any experience and you're probably not going to have many samples. So it really comes down to getting a clear image of what you want and who you want to work with, and then reaching out to them. While cold pitching might seem scary, again, you just have to get over that fear and realize that you're one email away from landing your dream client. But yes, you're going to have to put yourself out there. So who cares? Be relentless and get it done. Also, if you don't want to do cold pitching right out of the gates, I understand, and start with reaching out to your network, getting your guest posts, reaching out to job boards, or checking out Upwork. All right, step number five. At this point, you landed at least one client, and congrats to you. But again, we want to deliver high quality work. And that's the thing, is that getting clients takes some time and takes some finesse and really is a skill set that you're going to have to learn. But I don't want you to lose clients, because like I mentioned, I lost a $3,000 a month client because I did not deliver quality work, and that sucked. So again, I want you to learn from me and make sure you're proofreading, make sure you're hitting deadlines, and just going above and beyond so you're showing that client that you are a committed freelance writer that they can depend on. Step number six, keep evolving, keep growing, and keep getting better. I can't stress this enough, is that if you want to scale your business, you have to get better. Just because you want to make more money as a writer doesn't mean you necessarily warrant it. You need to figure out ways that you can bundle new services, that you're just become more effective as a writer, that you become an expert, and that way you then can command higher rates. And that is the big thing, is that when I was really going through that 10x growth, it was once I started charging more that I found that my writing not only got better, but I was just a more high quality writer. I got stuff done, and again, it helped fulfill that belief within myself. Step number 7, keep pitching, keep hustling. Again, your comfort zone is where dreams go to die. So do not get comfortable and complacent and just think, oh, it's nice making $1,000 a month or $2,000 or $4,000. Keep setting goals, keep being relentless, because you gotta drop those low-paying ones and keep replacing them with the higher ones. Think about freelance writing and entrepreneurship as kind of like an experiment. See what's gonna work. Maybe you ask for too high, but you have some negotiations for a new client. Or maybe you get rid of a client and then, all of a sudden you have all this time and then you land another higher paying one. But the thing is, again, to make sure you continually set goals so that way you can scale your income and hopefully leave that 9 to 5. All right, and step number 8, our final step, is to take this thing full time if you want. Again, make sure it aligns with what you want. I don't want you to do it just because I did it or because some other writers did it, but if you want to work remotely, if you want to have full control of your schedule and be your own boss, you can absolutely do it. But again, make sure that you're going out, you're doing the research, you're saving, you're setting a clear deadline, and then again, you're thinking about things like your work schedule and where you're going to work and what your finances are going to look like, what your benefits could look like if you do things on your own, and how you can save money, because I don't want you to jump ship and then have to go back to that 9 to 5. So again, plan it all out, and if you have any questions about any of that stuff, hit me up in the comment box, because like I mentioned, I've been at it, I've done it, I quit my job, I'm never going back, and I want to help you do the same. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up. Hopefully you learned exactly how to start freelance writing, how to become that freelance writer, and how to make money writing, because if I can do it, I know you can as well. So it would be super helpful if you could give this a like. I took a lot of time and I wanted to create this because, again, I know that one person watching this could literally change their lives, and I want that to be you. So again, give it a like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any more of these epic videos. And again, if you have any questions, hit up that comment box and make sure to take a look at the description down below, where I have a lot more resources to help you make money online as a blogger, as a writer, and a lot of other methods. So thank you again for watching, and as always, I hope you have an epic day.